All right, so I'm doing passive range of motion, upper and lower extremities. So first thing I'm going to do is sanitize, and then I would collect any items that I need. But for the scope, I don't need anything, so I'm ready to go. I'm going to go to the patient bedside, or into the patient. Yep. CNA, may I come in?
Uh-huh.
Hi, Miss Lutz. My name's Bailey. I'm the CNA helping you today. How are you? Can I check your ID bracelet? Can you get your name and date of birth? Awesome. So the nurse told me that you'd like to have some passive range of motion done. Is now a good time to do it? Okay, so I'm going to start with your right arm. I'm going to talk you through what we're going to be doing. At any point, if anything hurts or is painful, let me know and I'll stop, okay? So I want you to have your arm limp. We're going to work at your shoulder, your elbow, your wrist, and your fingers. Is that okay? Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do flexion and extension. I'm going to be raising your arm above your head, okay? I'm going to do it 3 times. Let me know if this hurts. Flexion, extension, flexion, extension, flexion, and extension. All right, I'm going to work on your shoulder still, and I'm going to take your arm away from your body, and I'm going to push it back towards your body. It's going to be abduction and adduction. So abduction, adduction, abduction, adduction, abduction, adduction. Perfect. We're done with your shoulder. Is there any pain? Okay, we're going to work on your elbow now. I'm going to hold you. I'm going to do flexion and extension. Flexion, extension, flexion, extension. Lastly, flexion and extension. Any pain? Okay, I'm going to work on your wrist now. We're going to do flexion, extension, and hyperextension. 3 times, okay? Flexion, extension, hyperextension, flexion, extension, hyperextension. One more, flexion, extension, hyperextension. All right, one more we're going to do. And then also on your wrist, we're going to do radial and ulnar deviation. So we're going to move your wrist in, radial, ulnar, radial deviation, ulnar deviation, radial deviation, ulnar deviation. All right, any pain? All right, we're going to move to your fingers. We're going to bend your fingers in and then extend them. So flexion, extension, flexion, extension, flexion, extension. All right, I'm going to separate your fingers now and push them back together. Abduction, adduction, abduction, adduction, abduction, adduction. 3 times on each finger. All right, how's that feel? All right, we're done with your right arm. I'm going to cover you up for privacy and dignity. All right, I'm going to do your right leg now. Okay, I'm going to expose your lower right leg. Is that okay? Okay. You mind uncrossing your feet? Okay. All right, I'm going to be working with your hip, your knee, your ankle, and your toes, okay? The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to raise your hip. I'm going to raise your leg, and we're going to lift your leg, and we're going to do flexion and extension, okay? Any point, just let me know if you're hurting. All right. Flexion, extension, 3 times. Flexion, extension, flexion, extension. Any pain? All right, we're going to be moving your leg out and in, okay? 3 times. Abduction, adduction, abduction, adduction, abduction, adduction, abduction. All right, we're all done. We're going to be working on your knee now, and I'm going to be flexing and extending it. I'm going to lift your leg. Flexion, extension, flexion, extension, flexion, extension. Perfect. Any pain? All right. And then lastly, I'm going to move my camera. I don't know if you guys can see that. All right, we're going to be working with your ankle now. All right, we're going to be doing plantar and dorsal flexion. Okay, I'm going to be pushing your foot down and up. This is going to be plantar, dorsal, plantar flexion, dorsal flexion, plantar flexion, dorsal flexion. All right, we're going to be turning your ankle inwards and outwards 3 times. Inwards, outward. And this is, blanking on the name for this. Inversion and eversion. Inversion, eversion, inversion, eversion. All right, we're going to work on your toes. We're going to do flexion, extension, flexion, extension, flexion, extension, flexion, extension. And then I'm going to separate your toes, okay? Abduction, adduction, abduction, adduction, abduction, adduction. 3 times on each. All right, we're done on this leg. And then I'm going to cover your leg for privacy and dignity. And then at this point, I would go to the other side of the bed and I would do the patient's left side of the body, their upper arm, their lower arm. Just the same thing on each side. All right, Miss Lutz, we are all done. Is there anything else I can help you with? Okay, would you like the blankets over you? Okay. I'm going to check a few things before I leave. I'm going to make sure you're in good alignment. I'm going to make sure you have your call light with you and your bedside table within reach. I'm going to make sure the bed's locked. It's in the lowest position. Side rails are up as needed. And then I would have, before starting the procedure, I would have closed the privacy curtain, and at this time I would have opened it. All right, Miss Lutz, if you need anything, just hit that call button and we'll be back with you. And then I'm going to get hand sanitizer and do hand hygiene before exiting. And then I'm going to document.